Hello, welcome to the TV room. David Bradley here. Alright, so I have let this Commodore 64C sit quiet for quite some time after spraying all the orifices with DEOXIT. The battle, I'm sure there are other things, but this fights the battle of micro-corrosion. It does. So, let us see what's what. I also, because it was reporting that the SID chip was bad, and it may be somehow bad, I did spray in there as well. And let's go on the air. Okay, so first and foremost, we are plugged in. The monitor is on. Turned on. And up comes the screen for a Commodore 64. That looks a little dim. But the things never look so great on the phone thing. Alright. So we'll take, this is the cartridge I kind of worked in and out. There was a lot of dust in this machine. So we'll turn this on. Let's see what's what. Perhaps while that is running through its thing, I'll get out the other diagnostic thing that I've had for years. Let's see what it reports. Assuming it does. Now, it's definitely going to report something is not right here because I don't have everything plugged in. I do not. And it looks for things through the ports. And this one is fine. It's good. Oh. Yep. This is a fine diagnostic cartridge and setup. But if you happen to find one, then go ahead. There are things that it does not have. For example, it does not connect to the keyboard connector. It does not. Whereas the one from RetroRewind does. Alright. Anyway, let's just see if the DEOXIT has made any difference. Now this was not, I know, this is not the diagnostic I ran this through before. But you know, it's good to see. It's good to compare them. Oh, it could be a little straighter. I just adjusted the thing on the cassette port. It didn't look quite straight. Probably I should have turned it off before I did that, just in case. But it's all fine. So let's see what's what. But indeed, so far, this 64, after getting the dust out and other such things, is looking pretty fine. Okay. So, it is saying that the 6526 chip, U2, which is not right beside the keyboard connector, but just over the keyboard connector, is defective. And I do believe that is very similar to the results from the other 6526 U2 bad. So, I think that is very similar to what the other diagnostics were showing. So, A very wise woman said, if two people tell you you're drunk, lie down. So, interrupt. Bad. Okay. So that is, well, I mean, it's never encouraging when you find out you got a bad chip, but it's encouraging that the basic results seem to be the same. Now, it did not report that diagnostic did not say that the SID chip was bad. Oops. But the other one did. So, now, is the 6526 the U2 chip? Is it also possibly giving results that show that something else could be bad? Well, maybe. Remember, this one here, this cartridge here, had difficulty at times in firing up. So before I connect anything else, I'm going to go to the dead test. Not the dead test. The diagnostic side of things. The machine is off. I'm just going to put this in. Turn on. Oh, I guess it would help if I actually had the monitor on. What is going on here? Oh, I guess it would help if I plugged the monitor in. Bahaha. Let's see if that makes any difference. Okay, so this has all of the alignment check. Yeah, right, fine. Okay, I'm going to flip the switch. Okay, so that came up okay. Now on this thing, there's also a reset button. And I much prefer doing the reset than turning the machine on and off. So, I did that. Okay, so here is the dead test. And that is up and doing its thing. So I'm going to hit the reset again, flip the switch, and see what's what on this. It does look like the DEOXIT has done what it was supposed to do. And what was that? Get things cleaned and cleansed. Oh, my phone went beep. And we'll let this run through the dead test as I prepare to connect the harness again. Anyway, DEOXIT is a good thing. It is indeed. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, let's see. Hang on. Here is the serial port connector. Top serial port. Yes, it is. Alright, so this is doing its thing. And we'll let it do its thing before we connect the harness. Oh dear. One of the things that I'm not fond of on this machine, of course it was all for shielding. There's a metal shield that goes on the bottom. There we go. This filters test is something that I have not seen anywhere except on this RetroRewind test thing. Now, it may be on other things. I just haven't seen it on other things. And it is very helpful and very handy because, like, there's one of the dead tests I have. It doesn't even test the fourth voice. Anyway, this is good. All right. Now, we have cleansed everything. So, in the midst of all that, we will connect things. Okay. Port 2, port 1, put in the serial port thing. Nice and secure. Alright. I'm always have a time with this. Mind you, whenever I hook up a keyboard, it's always interesting too. Okay. We're lined up. We're on. Okay. Now, maybe I should have not plugged things on in that order. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're going on to the user port. And we're going on to the cassette port. So, we're all good. Now, I want to be on the diagnostic. And I don't remember which one I want. I don't remember. But this seems to be taking too long. I will hit the reset button. This all could also be related to the fact that the 6526 chip is in trouble. It could be. Alright, reset. Dead test. Alright. Things are not happening. So I'm going to go to Diagnostic. Number 2. I'll wiggle this a little bit. Turn on. Alright. Turn that off. Diagnostic. We're very securely there. Number 1. Give this a little bit of a wiggle. Check on the cables. Give a little more wiggle. Alright. I'm going to take these things off. This was fine. Alright. I'm going to take the cartridge out. Alright. What have I done? Did I get the keyboard in properly? It does look like it. Everything appears to be in as it should be. Let me double check these goobers. Control port 1. port 1. That's where I had it. Control port 2. I have it very securely on the diagnostic. That's number 2. Okay. The machine is off. Well, that looks a little more encouraging. Maybe. Possibly. Alright, I'll turn that off. Switch to the other. Turn on. Not happening. We'll go to the dead test. And we'll see if anything hits the screen. And nothing does. Go to the other dead test. Alright, going to wiggle. Wiggle the cartridge. Alright. Going to take everything off. Everything out. This is very strange, but it could be, in fact, something to do with the 6522 is causing this. It could be. Alright, come on out, you. Boy, this thing is tight. It's tight. Oh, there we go. Alright. So, we now have the dead test is in. And this did work before. And up it comes. Alright. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to take the cartridge right out. I'm going to turn the 64 on, see if it comes up. And it does. This is peculiar. Well, as that diagnostic thing did point to that chip, I think it makes sense that I assume that that chip is bad. But I am perplexed. I'm going to put this in. The machine is off. There's the diagnostics. Set with nothing in. Up it comes. Alright, I'm going to hit the reset. I'm going to flip the switch. It should be perfectly set and perfectly fine. And up comes the other thing. Okay. Alright. Let's try. Here we have, do it one at a time. Here is the serial port connector. We'll put that in. At least I think I will. What's going on here? Okay. Serial port connector's in. I'll turn this on. And it comes up. Okay. That's good. I will plug in to the user port. So, put nothing else in. We'll do it one at a time. It comes up. Okay. We'll connect to the tape, the dataset port, the cassette port. Oh, well, interesting. Okay. I wonder if I have the cable a little askew. I've never had it out. Put that back in. Okay, it comes up. I've unplugged it. I put it back in. Interesting. It's not coming up. Okay. I will unplug the connector from there, from the that. I will turn it back on. This is peculiar. All right. Well, I'll take this out. It is the right way up. I know it's the right way up. I know it. Okay. So, but once again, maybe it's because of the bad chip. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, I'm going to do the keyboard thing. As I say, this is always a testy one. Mind you, any keyboard connection can be. Okay, it comes up. As I say, I hate turning things on and off this much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so we'll put this one into port number 2, which is the one closer to the power switch. And we'll turn it on. And it comes up. Okay. And we'll put this in port 1. And it comes up. Alright, let's just let it run through and see what it says without the cassette being plugged in. Meanwhile, I will look at the C64 diagnostic thing here. And, well, I will contact the good people at RetroRewind and say, I'm having a weird thing. And once again, it could be that because of the failure of the 6522, oh, now it's, okay, well. Okay, so it ran through. It's funny as we diagnose the diagnostics. All right, so we're off and we're on, or we're not on, we're off. We plug this in, we'll turn it on, with everything turned on, with everything plugged in. It is lit up with the thing called motor. I'm going to leave it on for a while. I am. Let's see if it rises up. And so far, there is nothing rising here. There is nothing. Okay. Now, before I call the Retro Rewind people and say, yo, something up here. Oh, I should try something. Oh, see, under here, under the blackness of this, there are some more 64s. Oh, there are, I think, 8 of them. So, what I should do is, okay, so that is turned off. Okay, I should pull out the power. I should put it in here. Let's see. Okay, it lights up. Okay, so I'll turn the monitor on. We'll yank out the monitor cable and turn this on. Kind of a funny thing. Well, that's interesting because this one it did work. I think I have a note on it. Works. A bit yellowed. Huh. Interesting. All right. Oh, the mysteries. Let us take our Commodore 64 power supply power checker and read. We're still at 5.14, 5.15. Well within acceptable parameters. So, now, what if the 9 volt is weird? What if it is? But see, it doesn't make any sense. All right. Because the thing comes up, except for that thing. All right. Oh, dear. Time to set that down over here. Oh. Grab another. Ah, don't drop the data set. Don't drop the data set. Look here. There's another Commodore 64. What does it say? It says nothing. Okay. Well, the power is off. It wasn't, but it is now. All right. Turn this on. And up it comes. As it should. Oh, and I touched nothing. Okay. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to set that there. I'm going to unplug everything to do with the diagnostics. Oh, I'm going to have to open this up. Well, maybe I can just leave the keyboard off. And just see if it comes up. Because that was not the issue. It was the cassette port. Don't really want to have to disassemble the whole thing. But I will, if I must. And indeed, here we go. I am having a hard time getting this thing out. It's coming. Okay. All right. Oh, no rest for the wicked. Okay. So, the 64 is now out of the game. We'll plug this in. The power is off. We'll turn it on. Now what? Oh, the dead test, of course. Okay, I'll turn that off. So we're going to do everything except the keyboard. Hello. So first, we will go into the cartridge port. We will not do the keyboard. The next wire I grabbed is for joystick port number 2. Put that in. What do we have here? Joystick port number 1. And then the cassette port. Okay. Let's see. We want the diagnostic. We're going to turn it on. Oh, now this thing is lit up with sense and motor. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to hit the reset. I'm going to flip the switch. Oh, okay. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Certainly the keyboard. Okay, it's saying U1 is bad, interrupt is bad. Alright. We're sounding good. We're going to turn it off. Switch to the other thing, which should be the other thing. Alright. We'll take this out. Come on out. Come on out. Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe there is something that has gone askew inside this thing. Anyway, I have no doubt that when I contact the Retro Rewind people and say, yo, something seems amiss here. Now, usually the dead test takes a while. I will hit the reset. I will switch the switch. I will pull this back out. And I'm still on dead test. Usually it takes a while. There's the dead test. Alright, let's press the reset switch. Flip the dead test switch. It's resetting. It has things in screen RAM, but it should come up with the other test. And it does. Well, that is intriguing. Anyway, well, 264s, basically the same result. And I don't see anything here that looks like any wires are anything except where they should be. They only really fit like one way. I've never taken them out. All right, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to have a really close look at the wires here. Yeah, it's made to fit in just so. Just so. Well, I think what I will do, onto the user port, and I will turn this on, and up it will come, and I will switch, and up it will come, and then I will take, oh, I just realized I don't have the serial port thing in there. That should not make any difference. Nope, it does not. Okay. And this only goes in. I know which way it goes in. It goes in with the side up. I know it. It's in. Turn it on. We see funny things happening on the screen. And it's not happening. Now the only other thing that well, I don't have the keyboard connector attached, but the only other thing that I can think of at this moment is, oh, and I have a bunch here because I had a whole bunch connected, is to grab another power supply. Oh, and who knows, maybe there's something wonky on the 9-volt side. Not wonky enough to do anything bad, as in hurt anything, but wonky enough to say, this is squirrely. Squirrely is not good. I really thought this was going to be a quick thing. Okay, so we'll take the other power supply that I was using with all the other 64s when I was testing the VIC switch, and we'll plug it in and see. Oh! Okay, yeah. No, it's not. This one's reading 10.5. I thought it was 5.1, but look where the dot is. It says okay. It's not okay. That would kill it. Oh my golly. What has happened here? You should leave things sitting around for a while, and now that one needs to be cut. All right. That was close. We'll grab another one. Okay. Another Commodore 64 power supply. Plug it in here. I'll plug it in here. And we'll see, that this one is reading 5.05. Okay. So unplug that. The machine is turned off. We'll plug this in ever so gently. We have everything plugged in. We'll turn it on. Now up it comes. Aha! Okay. It's a funny thing because when the other thing was connected, remember I said, you hear weird noises and then you say, oh, that's not good. And you say, no, that's not good. Okay. This is looking good. So what I'm going to do. But anyway, I saw a funny pattern on the screen when the cassette thing was in. And I thought, that's interesting. I didn't hear anything, but I saw a funny pattern on the screen. Okay. So what we could have here. Oh, my golly. Come on out. Come on out. Oh, boy, that's a tight one. Oh, God. Okay. Now, out with the data set port. Out with this. This will slip off. I will pull it out. Okay. And I will put this back on. Okay. So this 64 is good. It doesn't say anything, but it's good. All right. Now, oh my God. Now this 64, which is this other one I tested that didn't want to come up, which did before. Let's see what it has to say. Shaboom. Aha. Okay. So now it is working again. Oh, the mystery. Okay. So now, oh my. Cables everywhere. All right, we're going to try again. I suspect there will be no need to call the Retro Rewind people, because what we have here is what appeared to be a good power supply must have been somehow a little bit wonky on the 9-volt side. And you know what that means. Snippety snip, snip, snip. Okay, where? Here is the data set thing. Here is the serial port thing. It's in. The cartridge is in. The machine is off. Well, the power supply is being plugged in. So we'll switch to Diagnostic. This is the power supply. The switch is off. Everything is connected. Okay. Hang on. Wrong diagnostic. Shaboom. Ha ha! A beautiful looking power supply. But as they say in the song, she's not pretty. She just looks that way. Okay. Diagnosing the diagnostics. Now let's see what we come up with here. Commodore bad. 6581 bad. Well, it's consistent. Okay, I'm going to watch over this and see at some point the motor light should light up. Oh, okay, sense. That's on the cassette port thing. I think the motor light should light up. Maybe the motor's the 9 volts. Oh, hang on. Silly me. Hang on, hang on, hang on. This thing is on backwards. Dum 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 dum. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I imagine that it does. And how do I know that? Because I wrote on it. Out. Okay. Now, I think we have everything connected properly. We have a power supply that we trust. And we're moving on. So we'll see if that makes any difference to any of the diagnostics. It does look to me like indeed there will be surgery required. And what does that mean? It means desoldering. Putting in a socket, putting in the chip. Well, that's weird. Okay, there's YouTube. Interesting. Okay. Well, that was strange. Okay, so it does seem now. You know, one of the things about testing the voltages on these power supplies is it's hard. It's hard to stick things in there and not short things out, which is why Rudy made this magical thing. The Commodore logo in the back. But, well, I guess one of the things I need to do is I've got a whole bunch of power supplies sitting over there that I was using on all these machines when I had them all set up. But one of them, in the midst of all that, has gone bad. So before I plug anything back in, I need to check. I wish there was a good way to like to see what that voltage is at. Maybe it's low because it doesn't seem to have done any damage. It's all very strange. All very strange. Anyway, I had no idea that this video was going to go on and on and on and on and on as it has. I'm just watching to see if the motor thing lights up here. Because I think that's part of what it does. Yes, it does. It does. It does. It does. It does. Okay. So it's still telling me the SID chip is bad. But definitely both diagnostic cartridges say that U2 is bad. So I will believe it. I shall. I will. And I will ponder. Maybe this power supply before I... Now the 10.5 one, it's getting snipped. Maybe this one I'll put in a box for Rudy and see what his expert analysis can come up with. Whether it's high, whether it's low, or what. But that does seem to be the issue. It does. Anyway, as I say, it's always good to have spares, and it's always good to never, as they say, fly on one instrument and just say, oh, it's got to be that, it's got to be that, it's got to be that. Always keep your mind open to the possible possibilities. That there's always a possibility that something, while you're working on something, could in fact fail. Anyway. All right, I need, oh, wait a second here. I was just going to say, I need to find my cutting pliers. But these pliers, oh, these pliers, well, they're not cutting pliers. They'll do. If this is reading 10.5, that is death. death. So, while they are not cutting pliers, they do have a cutting implement. And there we have it. Another power supply, which says okay, but it's not. So at some point I will find the other cutting things and I'll cut these off, because what I do plan to do is use them for edging around a garden thing. And these wires that I have survived, I will stick them over the door because they might come in handy for something or somebody, or who knows, make an extension or make a whatever, I don't know. Anyway, cords are good, wires are good. All right, as I said, I had no idea this quick test was going to take so long. So, and of course now I have to tidy up. Okay. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I will pass on my findings of all of this to the Retro Rewind people, that if they have somebody who is having difficulty and everything seems to go badly when you connect the cassette sensor, that they may in fact have a 9-volt issue. They might. Maybe I'll give them the power supply, and then they can explore and add that to their things. Maybe. Anyway, enough. I really did want to get to the 2040 and the 4040 today. Maybe I still will. I'll see. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.